because I didn't take the thing, I would look at him
So
sadly and I'd say,
by
I'm sorry
now
God
you're
gave you the wrong
probably
parents.
wondering what it is
I'm
that
sorry
I'm
God
trying to
gave you
show
me as a
you.
dad. What do I think what is?
That's a really
the
good
thing that they're dealing
wonder.
with. Like with the,
So
Depopulation.
it was November,
yeah. Is it
November 7th.
Well, do you want to go into
No.
it, or can you?
See,
Oh,
I
no,
already
no,
fucked
we
that up.
totally
I know,
can.
I
Yeah,
always fucked
absolutely.
up.
It
That was
appears.
November
That's
6th,
But if
Oh,
you want
no.
to say,
2021.
No, it's fine. What I
This
was
was
gonna
after
do
the
until I had to
sunset.
restart my computer,
It's
just
not
like,
me
which is why I
doing
was
it.
late to come
It's
talk
my
to you,
camera.
because all my tech went to crap just before, like 12 minutes
still don't
before
get
the
it.
stream.
What do
Everything
you mean
froze
by
up.
that?
The microphone wouldn't work. Nothing worked. So
It's
I
not
had
me.
to reboot. What I was
I'm the
gonna do
person
was I was
who
going
just
to
put the camera
simul-stream this
in
on
the
Odyssey,
window
because
and
I'm
filmed
moving my
this
channel to Odyssey
through
over the next 2 to 3 months.
a single
oh, okay.
YouTube is not a friendly
gas.
place. Doesn't like people that want to
A
say things that
single
they don't
pane
agree with.
of
So it likes to
gas?
give you
No.
a strike and
No,
you get
that's
2
not
weeks
what I
off.
said.
You're
If
doing
that
100%, you're going 100%.
Yeah,
The
I'll be out of YouTube probably by
a single
1st of
pane
February.
of glass.
And I hope that
Oh,
that
what you
enough
said.
people who come here
Yeah, that's
want to
what
go
I
there
said.
too. And I hope that channels that
So
I like
what are you
end up
trying to
going there as
present
well, so
here?
I could revisit them.
Well,
But yeah,
what I'm
it's
trying to
just
present here
it's
is
not a good,
the
healthy
moon.
place.
I admire
It's
that.
not quite
YouTube's not
clear,
great. Oh, I'm not the first.
but
So
it is
Just stand up and say, like, I'm
about to
going
be
to say what I want to say.
featured here
But
if you give it a
So the
few
depopulation agenda.
moments.
So
How long
technology
is a
has
moment? Well,
advanced
a
itself,
moment
or
can
we've
be
advanced
a
technology to the
series
point where
of moments,
we don't.
making
They,
it a
the people that
concept
own this
of
place,
time.
don't need as many of us to
And
run the
again,
place, right?
this was
So you own a
filmed
McDonald's, you start
by
putting in
my
the touch
camera,
screens, and
not
so you don't need as
me.
many cashiers.
I'm just doing the
And then you put in
voiceover
the
here.
automatic burger flipper, and then you don't
Wait,
need as
you're
many cooks.
confusing
And
me.
then you put in, it's all cashless
I
at
am?
that point, so you don't need
Yes,
somebody to go to the bank,
you
and you
are.
need you need
Okay.
2 people
So by now
to
you
run a
should be
McDonald's that
seeing
used to have
the
60 people,
moon.
right?
It's not
One to
eclipsed.
take
This
care of the
is the
machines,
part 2
and one to communicate with the
of
corporate office and order
November
food and all that.
6th,
Well, that's probably automatic also.
2021.
So when you get to that technological
sunset.
place where you
And
can
now
replace
the
60
moon
workers
is
with
featured
2,
here.
well,
I know
we're
there's
getting
a lot
pretty
to
close
see,
to
but
that
wait a
place
second.
here. So
What do you mean?
what do I do with the other
No,
50? Well,
there is a lot to see.
if I
Well,
if I have to feed them,
if you
and I have to keep them from killing me,
span your
because
eyesight.
58 of them could go in there, tear down that McDonald's, build a new
Span
restaurant,
my
put everybody back to
eyesight?
work, and we don't
That's
want
right.
that. So we have to do
Span
something.
your eyesight.
So I
Go
personally
ahead,
think that is
give
what's
it a
behind
try,
the
but
depopulation.
don't lose track of the moon.
why now? You think?
Because we've advanced to the technological place where we
Where
can
is
do
the
it.
moon?
Not only through the medical device with the graphene
It's
and
right
the nanobots.
fucking there.
We
in
didn't have
front
that
of
50
you.
years ago. Didn't have that
I-
10 years ago.
It
Don't you
wasn't
think people are
me,
gonna
it
really
was my
notice?
camera.
Like,
So,
once it starts happening, they're going to be like, oh,
what does
oh,
that
like,
mean?
What is
It's-
the moon?
It's
I
been
think I
happening.
covered this
It's been
already.
happening.
It wasn't
And they
me,
haven't
it
noticed.
was my camera.
No, they don't.
Okay?
And
I'm
they're
the
not
person who
going to.
put
And
the
part of why they're not going
camera in
to
the
is because
single
when they were told
pane
to put
of
this thing on their
glass
face,
and film
and they
this.
did it without question,
It wasn't
never
me,
pushed back,
it was my camera.
as the body starts to drop, and they hear a
You got
narrative
me confused
that,
again.
oh, this is a new variant, they'll be like, well,
Good.
it's those guys who didn't get the thing, and
By
that's a
now
new
you should be
variant, and that's
seeing.
why we're in trouble.
That is, but that's what they're going on with now.
Exactly. So it's a self-reinforcing fictional story that about 1 hour
Really?
of
That's all
research
you
can
got?
totally
No,
prove that it's a
I've
fiction.
got a lot more.
Yeah,
But
it's really obvious.
The-
Yeah.
Just have to
it
go
is.
back
It's
and
total
look
simple,
at what I
basic science.
shared
Nothing much to
previously.
it. But for the people that have
Okay.
bought into it,
Okay.
it's a
So I
self-perpetuating
should
myth.
spend some time going back.
And it's going to continue.
Yes,
And the
you
more
should.
fear that they
But the
have,
past
the
means
less
nothing.
rational thinking they have.
But it means
Right? So I can go to the hospital and I can say, well, Mr. Hospital Person, I need to come in. And they said, well, do you have
Oh,
a thing?
I
And I
know
said,
what
no,
you're
I don't have a
saying.
thing. And they said, well, you can't have to have a thing.
You do.
And I'll say, well, but if I have the thing,
Yeah,
I
I
can
know
still
what you're
transmit it,
saying.
and I
see
can
it
still
now.
get it, and I
I
can
know
still
that-
have symptoms.
It's like talking to a wall, though, because they're just like, yeah, I totally know what you mean.
Right, so if
Can
I
I ask
explain to
you a
them that
question?
all these numbers show that if I have it, I still get it
No.
and I can still pass it, what's the
Why?
difference between me having it or not? And then it comes
Because
down to,
I'm
well, I said so.
interviewing you. You're not interviewing
And if you ever
me.
were raised by a parent that said
No.
I said so,
I'm interviewing you.
and you just did it, well, then put it on your face and just,
No,
they
you're
said
not.
so, so you can't do it.
Yes,
I
I
was
am.
not that child.
Right.
And my mom said, well, because I said so.
Are you sure?
I said, well, so what?
Yeah, I'm kind of sure.
And
Yeah,
and,
pretty
you know,
sure.
and I was
Mhm.
not an easy
Yeah.
child to raise.
Oh, you're wild.
And I'm more feral than
I feel sorry
a
for
lot
you.
of people. I really am. And
Why would you
I'll tell
feel
you, when I was a
sorry for me?
child, we moved into a house and I climbed a tree. And my mom, I was little, like, I think I was 11.
Because you're
And
so
my mom's like,
dense.
come out of the tree. And I said, come up and
I-
get me.
What?
Oh.
You're dense.
Because I knew she was afraid of heights and she'd never do it.
You're not
Right. She's
fluid.
like,
Right.
You don't feel.
Right. So she's like, well, come down
What?
when you're ready. And if you fall and get hurt, I'm going to kill you.
Murder me.
I'm
Right.
like, well, okay,
Are you
Mom, I'll
talking
see you in
to
a
me?
bit. You know?
Right.
Yes.
And we need to be treating the governments of the
Are
world.
you asking me questions?
It's sad though because a lot of people,
No.
and not to be critical at all. Of
No,
people
it's
who
Then
okay.
what are you trying to
But
point out here?
like the public school
Told
systems,
you.
know,
We've
are
covered
really
this.
tough, and parents are put in
That's the
positions where
moon.
they
It's
have
not
to
quite any
have somebody
close,
watch their kids because they have to
but
work
it's
so
pretty
much,
damn close.
and so it is
Right.
just really
Close to
tragic.
what?
This is the scenario going down that people
Close to an
can't
eclipse.
have the time they
Oh,
want to
so the
have
eclipse
in
didn't
their
really
families
happen.
and everything.
That's
And I think
right.
that plays that's the tough part of it too. Is that today's world is so busy and it's going so fast.
You're
and
confusing
It's
me
requiring
again.
so much
I know.
money just to live
It's okay.
that people just
You're dense.
they lose track of everything
It's
that's
okay.
going on around
It's
them.
okay.
What's happening with their family members? They see their coworkers more than they see their own
So are
family.
you trying to
Right.
reassure
So
me
let's say,
that it's
let's
okay?
turn the clock back 50
Yes,
years.
I am.
And let's go more. Let's go 60 years.
What's okay?
Because I forget how old I am. And
The
how
fact
long
that
it's
it
been.
was not a
Post World War II,
an
America,
eclipse.
everything seemed to be beautiful and
Is that
happy
what
and
you're trying to
everything.
say?
And then in the
So now it's
40
okay?
years, sorry, in
All
the
craft are sort of
70s,
smooth on the
there was
bottom
a
unless it's the
movement
big triangles,
sparked
like
by
the Belgian ones
social
with lights at
engineers
three corners.
called the
What are
Women's
you
But I have
Liberation.
trying
never
to get
seen
at?
such
What are
a
you
structure
trying to
as
show
this
me?
one at the
Everybody
bottom
should be
because
liberated. See, the women's
of
lib
UFO
movement to me is like the
craft.
Black Lives Matter movement.
Trish says
Every life
that
matters.
she personally
trying
has
to show
seen
you
such
Every
craft
person should be
Get
able
that
bored.
was
But they
spotted
spun it
twice
in a way that
before
I
and
need to
it brought
speculated
women into the
that
workplace.
We're
UFO
so
was
goddamn
invisible
smart.
it doubled
and was
it
observing
doubled the tax
TV
base for the
crew's night
government.
watch
You
and
made
her
me.
dash cam
It also
Yes,
took away
you.
the
this
primary
moment
caretaker for a
of
child,
light from
and it
something
inflated
that was
Maybe you
set
should
on
rethink
to
that.
light
economically
through, and she
inflated
was
everything
getting
to the
ready
point
go
where
to
now,
her house.
if you're going to have a home,
Now,
both
recently,
adults
I
need to work.
received
Right.
an
that
email
it's
that
just a
read,
fact.
quote,
And so the children are
"Hello,
left without a
Linda.
device.
I have been
So
listening
if
for
you
Are
can
you
go
years
back
going
to
to?
the 70s
Am
and
I
look at
going to
minds
what?
of people that
Rethink
manipulate
that.
society in that way,
No.
were they putting us on a
Northwest,
trajectory
apartment
where we would wind up here in
Who's asking
2021
whom the
where a
questions
person
here?
didn't feel like
I'm
they could take their
interviewing
child
you,
out of
remember?
an education system that was going to give them a thing in their arm
The way I
or
remember
sit them in the
it
corner.
is,
I mean, is it possible that this thing's been in play
for hours
for a lot
throughout the
longer
night.
than most people
Oh.
think?
Then,
Yeah, it looks
a
that
few
way.
days later,
It does look
So
a
that
there
way.
is
small
no
gray appeared
That
along
it's all just been
interview.
about
some
reaching
along
to the
some
point of going,
What?
the way you're looking at it is
memories,
just people
some
completely
latent
on their
memories came
own.
into his mind.
Like, not only have you
related
broken
to
What did you miss?
apart so people can relate to each other.
Did
I
you
and
would
miss
like
something
to
there?
research
But
There's a lot
people
to
are
see.
finding more and more they feel
But I don't feel
A
alone.
lot to feel.
If they can't
calling into
trust their own
A lot to
friends sometimes
experience.
because
I've had
even
a
an opinion
military
can
career
Did you
in
miss
one
something there? I didn't
hard.
miss anything.
Friendships have been
If
lasting for
possible,
years.
I would like to talk
so
with
they're
you
having
or
families that are
someone
doing that.
about what is
So
happening.
individuals
Maybe
are finding
you should
themselves with
look
Perhaps
at
you
this.
can recommend.
Who is
They might be
interviewing
helping
you?
these kids. It's the same
I
thing.
contacted
You are
them
I
interviewing
can't
and
you.
imagine how hard it is
No,
to
I'm not
report these
interviewing
kids'
me.
military service.
I'm interviewing
Breaks
you.
my
He
heart.
served in the
Breaks my
U.S.
heart.
Army in
Yeah,
several
it's really
missions,
sad.
Yeah.
including
And what
And
is
how
it
they're
that you're
gonna
trying to
have
show
to
here?
top
You know,
secret
It's
stuff.
the eclipse
and
thing.
He also
Come on.
Or
Are you
conform.
dense?
Right? Or conform.
His military
No.
assignments
I wonder-
required various
You
non-disclosure
know, it's to get everybody
Oh.
kind
which have
of
expired.
Okay.
isolated
But I
and, you
promised
know,
him complete
Yeah,
anonymity.
in order
And
to,
only
well, they're bringing in this
using
whole metaverse
No
thing.
Way.
I
This
have
whole
also
meta
altered
thing
the
where they're gonna get
frequency
them.
of
Who
his
the fuck
voice.
do you think you
I
are
gave
anyway?
you permission to record
Doesn't
his
matter.
extraordinary
Who the fuck?
experiences
I
that
think I
occurred
am.
7 months ago in March 14
What
and
truly
15
matters
of
is,
2021.
do you
Now
know
he
who's
thinks that when he
interviewing
was
you?
a child, he had lots of
Yeah, I know who's
nosebleeds,
interviewing
missing
you.
time,
You
seeing
are.
telepathic thoughts
I
or
am.
something that he could not see. And
That's
that what has
right.
happened at age 55
interviewing
now
you.
in 2021
You're just
is
gonna have to
directly
deal with
connected
it.
to his strange youth.
But what if I don't want
Here
to?
now is voice-altered John
Do you
Doe
really have a
to
choice?
be listened to more than once, like my radio broadcasts with Ardell
Maybe.
in the 1990s.
Maybe not.
Waking up in bed from a sound sleep.
Wait, what are we talking about here? We're talking about the moon. Okay? It's not quite an eclipse. Are you dense or are you fluid? Come on. Decide already.
Whatever that is, it's about 3.5 feet, 4 feet tall, and it's got a huge head. Its head is
Maybe
much
I'm
larger than it
both.
should be for its
Maybe
body.
you're neither.
Its arms and legs are small and
Maybe
skinny,
you're some
smaller than it should be for something with a head that large.
somewhat.
It had eyes that were bigger than they should be
Something.
for that head. They were
Probably.
square or rounded off.
What do you mean by
I
probably?
couldn't physically move.
Well,
I couldn't move my arms, my legs, my
The only way
arms.
you
I couldn't
can
move
know
my
for
head to look
sure
down. My eyes could move down, and my
is to
head could move
keep
slightly
trying
upward, only slightly.
to be
And I stared.
to be what?
What the fuck is that? What is it doing in my picture?
To be
I
you.
was startled, but I wasn't frightened.
Who
And I didn't
is
know why. I
interviewing
should be terrified.
who?
Someone's in my house.
It's
An intruder.
whom.
But I was calm. And I just
Whom
felt that
is interviewing
I was slightly
whom?
happy, which was odd. Really odd,
You
and I felt slightly happy.
are interviewing you.
For being totally confused. And I noticed the
Oh.
light around it was very dark.
So there
very
was
dim.
no
It was
eclipse
only
at
lit
this
up by
point.
LEDs
That's
off the
right.
ground. Just a few feet off to the right. My
I
home
think you're
sun
more
was on
dense
tape
than
on
you
the wall.
are
You've got 5 lights that blink on and off. When your eyes adjust to nighttime,
I think
when you
you
try
are
to go to
more
sleep,
fluid than
eventually
you
your
are
eyes will be able
dense.
to see shadows and colors or a bit of
Good
light.
point.
I could see the light behind it, and I could see the light reflecting
Who's
off
to say for
left
sure?
side, the right side. I could see it, and that's
Good
how I could tell
question.
the first time I could see his eye.
Shall we try to
I could see the
find
body
out?
shape. I woke up again.
I don't know
a
if
few
I've
hours
got
later,
time for that.
because it was much lighter. I could tell it was light coming in from
But you
no,
do.
in existence
I do
before
what?
5 in the morning.
Have time
On
for
the
that.
3rd floor of our building, even with curtains closed.
Who's interviewing you?
I could see more details.
You are interviewing you.
Those arms and legs,
I thought it was
light
who?
behind him, clearly
No,
visible.
it's you.
I don't know if this was a him or her.
Me?
Like a video
I
call
know.
chat, you know, and I think most people are doing that. And then
It's
even when you
I.
go to the chat rooms, it's kind of like just texting a lot of people.
What?
Right.
I am
So,
interviewing
I'm
you.
still
So
thinking
Meta's next level.
Oh.
And then I looked at it.
Yeah,
It wasn't
I think
quite
that would be
an
really weird if
eclipse.
My head a bit more this time, and it was still in the doorway. And I
Felt
knew
like we were
by
Are you
right
kidding
behind
me
it
now?
was some amount of time.
No.
Like we're something.
Your
He is
avatar
still
was
there.
short.
The same exact
Right.
position in the doorway.
I was
dressed
exactly
up
like
like
it had been
Pee
the
Wee
first
Herman.
time you woke
Right.
up.
Something what?
Like it hadn't moved.
Something.
No.
Why aren't I terrified? Why
In
aren't I
between.
yelling?
In
I had a
between
pistol
what?
in the safe under my bed.
Oh.
Why didn't I jump
There
up
you
like
go
a
again.
should do and go get my pistol and defend my home?
Who is
Why
interviewing
did I feel
who?
happy that I could see that they were
I am
and just look at it?
interviewing
I could tell it was
you.
looking at me, but I couldn't see any movement at all. I
Okay.
could move only my head
Says
a little
who?
bit, but a little bit more than
Says
before.
me.
And I smiled slightly,
I
and I
am.
fell back asleep. I opened my eyes again. I was awake. It was there.
What?
This time I could see more color. I could see a lot more gold and reddish
It
brown.
wasn't
I
quite
could see
the
more details,
eclipse.
and I could see a necklace
But
on its neck this time that I couldn't make out before.
it never is.
Things like large,
Or is it
stems,
always?
or what appeared to me as
I
large
wonder.
shapes around it. Unusually
I
large
wonder.
for any human wearing a necklace.
I
or
wonder
it looked
too.
like 2 or 3 inch long.
I
stone
wonder where?
necklace around its
Wonder
neck.
what?
I looked up at it. I saw
You know
Wonder?
much,
it hadn't moved.
you know much
I
about fake
had
news?
Wonder.
For
What?
some reason, I wasn't
No.
upset or
Stop
shocked.
it.
I was
And if
I'm
nothing wrong with it,
interviewing
as long as
you.
it doesn't take over,
No. I'm
more prominent.
interviewing you.
the necklace
Who?
lit up on its left
Me.
shoulder, the right
I
side of
never
my
had
neck.
What?
fun with people
Bright pink.
who like to escape
One
and
that
Are you
pointed
dense?
down,
You
the
know,
fourth
I do
one
so
lit up
myself
bright pink.
sometimes.
Or are you fluid?
Little hanging down center.
Just
I
they're
I'm
taking on all
asking.
kinds of weird topics, all kinds of stuff that really has no
I
serious
just
effect
want to
on
be
the actual
bored.
world. You know, it's just doing it for like entertainment, basically.
Right?
But you're using your creative
What?
imagination.
At the same
Yes.
time?
And
But
you're,
each one's
No
supposed to be
way.
level and don't
Maybe.
drift off to where they're
Light up
replacing
Maybe
that
not.
world where they don't even
Stop
have a
with
life
that
anymore.
bullshit. The fuck are you
That
talking
is
about?
that
interacting with
Haven't they
Nobody.
done that for the past 20 months?
is somehow reacting to
Yeah,
your
so-
attention.
I
Say that again. Say that again. Go back.
I like to think
As long as they don't
Yes.
so
place reality.
that reality takes over in places their actual existence, where
Well, put this in
they
our
no
glass
longer
and
feel
drink
like they're
it.
living their life.
Put this in your
Okay, so
mouth.
hasn't that
Put
happened
this
in
in
the
your
past 20
head.
months? Because if you
Put
would have
that
bought a
in-
box of those blue things
What?
early, on the side it says does not protect against coronavirus. It
Right.
literally says it on the box. So they're taking that.
To a lot of people.
They're living in a fictional fucking thing that isn't even. Sorry, pardon my language.
And it
I don't know if we
sounds like
cussed
that
that,
the
or if we
necklace
covered that I cussed on
itself,
the
as it
stream. But if it
appears
offends
to
you, let me
you,
know
is
right now.
actually some kind
Yeah.
of
Oh, no,
technology.
it's okay.
Okay, they're living in a fictional reality already. They
Right.
believe this thing is they believe it's something, and it's not, because you still get sick, you still can transmit it. They believe the mask does something, which it doesn't. They believe that little midget Dr. F has some authority, which he doesn't. They believe that executive orders mean something. They believe that mandates